Welcome back to the LFA show. I'm not your dad, I'm not your mom, I'm not your guardian. I am simply the best channel on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, today's video request comes from a subscriber named Jerry. And here's what he has to say. He says, I have a situation that I'd like to get your thoughts on. I have a very close friendship with a married girl for almost 7 years, but we never crossed the line until recently. She claimed to be very unhappy because he is abusive. She was looking to move out this past November, and I even helped her look for an apartment. According to her, they were separated and slept in different rooms. About 2 weeks ago, the husband contacted me saying there'd be consequences if I don't stop harassing his wife. I replied by saying that she and I were just friends. She called me 2 days later crying hysterically. Apparently the husband was kicking her out of the house, and it was all my fault. She said that I was a jerk. She regretted having met me. I'm so confused right now. I feel like she's fed him a bunch of lies and his anger is directed towards me. I replied by saying that she and I were just friends. She called me 2 days later, crying hysterically. Apparently the husband was kicking her out of the house and it was all my fault. She said that I was a jerk. She regretted having met me. I'm so confused right now. I feel like she's fed him a bunch of lies and now his anger is directed towards me. She and I were as close as two people could be. I even gave her to my place. Thoughts? I'm more than willing to pay you. Please let me know how I can go about doing that. Thank you. And then here's some messages that the husband sent him. Jerry, I've been observing you since the beginning I knew you. You better stop your stupid game with my wife. Don't play with my life, 'cause you will regret it. Your wife left you behind with Geraldine. If one more time you contact my wife, go to her workplace, invite her to places, or give her any type of gift, you won't let you go too far. You are a bastard. Well, buddy, thanks for your topic request, and this is actually going to make for a really good video. And I'm pretty sure I can dissect this situation with about 99% accuracy. So when you first met this woman 7 years ago, this was a married woman who was shopping for a replacement. She was looking for a trade up. She was looking for a better deal, and you happen to be the better deal. Now there could be multiple reasons here. You know, maybe you have more money and resources. Maybe you look like the kind of guy that can smack her ass and pull her hair, and her husband is just unable to get that job done. But one way or the other, she was unsatisfied with what she was with, and she was shopping around for something new, and she found you. Now this is a very common manipulation tactic that women use. They'll use some sort of a sob story. You know, it gives them plausible deniability, and it also gives you a sense of attachment to her. Now, she could say she was being abused by her husband. She could say that her husband's a cheater. She could say that her husband neglects her. But either way, she's using that as a sob story to get you to feel sorry for her and to encourage you to develop an emotional connection to her, which it seems like you did. Now, I'm not quite sure why it took you 7 years to fuck her, because it sounds to me like you could have fucked her in the first week. Maybe you thought it wasn't the right thing to do. But it's also not the right thing to do to have a relationship with a married woman for 7 years. So if you ask me, you probably should have fucked her in week 1, or just left her altogether. Either way, she knew from the beginning that the moment you fucked her, she was going to be sure to let her husband know. And this would force him to initiate the divorce. And then you could be there to save the day. She could move in with you. And you can be her new husband. And now she can be your problem. But if you ask me, you're in a really good position right now. A much better position than her husband's in. You see, he's probably in a cheaper to keep her situation right now. He knows if he divorces her, she's going to take him to the cleaners, even though she's the unfaithful one. She can give the court system the same story about how he's abusive, or how he's a cheater, or how he neglects her, or whatever her story might be. The court will eat it up and possibly destroy him. Now, fortunately for you, you can still walk away. But if you decide to continue pursuing this woman, and she eventually divorces her husband and moves in with you, now you're going to be facing the same problems that her current husband is facing. I don't think that's something you want to get involved in. Not a man of your status. You have a lot of women at your disposal. You have a lot of options worldwide. Why would you bother with an unfaithful married woman who's obviously damaged? You need to move on as soon as possible. Now, as far as the messages that her husband is sending you, now it's painfully obvious that she's manipulating both of you. She has him convinced that you're a dirtbag on the side that's just trying to get in her pants. She has you convinced that he's an abusive asshole and she needs to be protected from him. Both stories are probably false. You're dealing with a very manipulative, narcissistic woman. Now, I think we've all been there and done that. This is what red pilled content is for. You get to learn from these situations. Now, you shouldn't be embarrassed by being in one of these situations, but you need to understand that this is something that you need to move on from. Okay? A high status male should never be getting involved with a married woman. He should be able to see the red flags of a damaged or narcissistic or unfaithful woman, and he should avoid these type of women altogether. Because when you get involved with a woman like this is the results you're going to get. Anyways, I hope this video was somewhat informative. That's all I have on this topic today. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. LFA signing out.